Now, Simon, we've spoken about this before.
Yes.
We did this actually in a movie junket when I said I don't like films.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't like films, it's just I have no attention span, so I find it very hard to sit down in a cinema, fine.
I was just amazed.
Because trapped.
As one
At
of
home, no.
Possibly the key spokesperson for culture and youth in this country. You didn't like films.
To me, it's like sometimes you hear people say, I just don't really like food. Or it's like, what?
You don't like air.
I don't really like it.
I hate music.
Someone did say that who I was going out with once. I'm just not that into music. And I was like, what do you mean? I think I'm just watching the wrong films, Maybe. And we wanted to do this all week across Radio 1. We're going to educate me and people who aren't that knowledgeable about films by doing like a film club, kind of like a book club.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it tonight. We're going to start with comedy. What do you think are the essential comedy films that I need to watch? Because my friend Colette comes around and she's referencing all these films. I have no idea what she's talking about.
I can tell you 3 absolute essentials.
Okay.
This is Spinal Tap.
Yes.
You have to see it. As a music fan,
Yes.
you have to see that.
Never seen it.
You watch that. If that's the one you need to see, this is Spinal Tap. The Life of Brian, Monty Python.
Yes. Never seen it.
And Airplane.
Yes, never seen it.
Nice.
I've seen a snippet of Airplane. So I remember my sister had it on VHS.
Yeah.
You could probably put some Blazing Saddles in there for something slightly
absolutely.
broader.
All very essential comedy movies.
Any of the Christopher Guest's canon
Okay.
work for me. Waiting for Guffman.
Best in Show.
Yeah, even A Mighty Wind is
Yeah.
is a lot of fun.
The Python movies generally, but I think Brian is the best one. Shaun of the Dead, if you want to keep it at home.
Yeah, I've heard that's great, yeah.
But those 3, for me, as kind of classics of the genre.
Zoolander.
Zoolander's a nice modern. Zoolander's like...
I have seen Zoolander.
There we go.
Yeah. I have seen Zoolander. Yeah, it is like that. Like
Anchorman.
like that, yeah.
Any Wes Anderson film, they're not necessarily balls out
quirkier
comedy, but
yeah.
they're very
I
funny.
went to see, what's the Wes Anderson film that I went to see recently? Moonrise Kingdom,
Moonrise
is it
Kingdom,
called?
yeah.
I went to see it at the Hackney Picture House, which is quite a steep cinema.
steep rate.
And I was right at the front, and it was so close, it was just dots. So I have actually, I've experienced it, man. It was so intense. It was sort of like a Disneyland ride. It was like here,
just dots.
the screen, so I don't really know what happened.
That should have been the pull quote on the poster.
It was just
Moonrise Kingdom,
dots.
it was just dots.
What do you think the key ingredients are for a great comedy film?
Well,
Jokes?
No, this is the thing. The thing you might say immediately is jokes, but I think the key to really good comedy is a good story and good characters, because that's what you lay the jokes on top of. If you just have a film that's just jokes, the minute one of those fails, the whole film falls apart. So, if you look at Airplane, for instance, that script was a script called 0 Hour, which is a very serious movie all about a plane, going down.
Yeah.
And all they did was they took 0 Hour, the plot, the characters, and they covered it in jokes. And if you have a strong story and characters that you love and believe in, the best comedy films have that. Spinal Tap, The Life of Brian, the ones that we've mentioned all have brilliant characters. So you start with that and then get funny. Look at this guy.
There's comedy right there.
It's really intense, isn't it? Get down, stop being
She's
weird.
like the one from The Artist.
She is, isn't she?
Yeah.
I've not
Uggy.
seen it.
Uggy.
Yeah, I've not seen it. I've seen a picture of it. Seen a picture of it.
That's
I think that's true, though. I think characters is the key, isn't it? Because as soon as someone, I think this is the thing that distracts me from a film. As soon as I start watching it and someone talks in the way that no one's ever talked, I'm just like, turn this off.
I'm not a fan of those films like Something Movie or not another Something Movie.
Yeah.
It's because they're just jokes, and not even jokes, they're just references.
It's like watching a fifth-year school review.
Yeah.
It's deadening. It's
Yeah.
not comedy, it's torture.
I was watching something, I can't remember what it's called, with Winona Ryder in. And it was no. It was recent one, and she basically says, "God, love, what a funny thing, hey mom." And I was like, "That's not what you say to your mum." So I had to turn it off. That's as much as I got to it.
But it stayed
I was like,
with
"You don't
you.
talk to your mum like that." In a negative way. Edward Scissorhands was the film that may have sparked my hatred for film, because I saw that as a kid and I was too young to go and see it, and my cousin took me and I was terrified. I'm terrified of Johnny Depp still. It freaks me out.
4-year-old yesterday.
Yeah, did
you?
Well,
Yeah.
I had nightmares for years, like 2 years. Hated
She's a big
it.
Tim Burton fan.
Oh, is she? Yeah. Oh, she's a lot cooler than me. I didn't like it. But is there any movies from your childhood that really stuck out? Because Edward Scissorhands is the one. That was like...
Comedy-wise,
I watched a lot of it, but I watched a lot of horror as a kid. My parents drank a lot, so I was allowed to watch any horror film I wanted. So, yeah, I watched a lot of horror rather than comedy.
You're both big fans of sci-fi films.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah? Were you in Star Trek?
No, but my...
Oh, Simon Pegg was?
I was, yes.
Yeah. How was it doing... how was it doing that compared to like a comedy film? Is it a lot more... What's it like on set when you're doing something as epic as that?
It's a lot of fun. The sets are always amazing, and J.J. Abrams is always very... J.J. Abrams is always very keen to have everything there, so it's not too digital. You know, you see films these days and everything's done in the computer and it's a bit airless. J.J. likes to have everything there, so it's really good fun. And if you want to watch science fiction films, you have to go back to the classics. You have to watch Star Wars, the first one, and The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. You've got to watch 2001: A Space Odyssey, Planet of the Apes. You've got to watch The Omega Man.
I watched the new Planet of the Apes with James Franco in.
Oh, the one with Andy Serkis. I did like that one,
Yes.
actually. I thought Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes didn't work so well, as much as I like Tim Burton. But, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
It's like the gorilla jumping on the chopper.
Yeah, I did like that.
Yeah,
That
I
was
liked
great.
it when Caesar says, no!
No, and everyone goes,
What the?
what
Monkey
the...
talk.
Yeah. Do you think do you get paid more for a sequel?
Yeah.
It's the best question I've ever been asked.
It depends if you've... sometimes on the first one you...
Yeah, that's what I thought, because they might say, sign this.
Let me put it this way, if Snow White 2 goes, chi-ching!
So I always judge if we're guessing how rich Hollywood movie stars are, I'm like, well, they were in Spider-Man 3. So,
Yeah.
rich.
It's
Well,
not
that's
as
not
much as you
necessarily the
imagine.
case.
You are expected to get paid exponentially more
Yes.
on each instalment, but sometimes when you're not, and these days, you know, the whole structure of filmmaking has changed.
Take it or leave it.
It's take it or leave it.
Yeah.
So
I heard Arpats really did, that's why he's so rich, because that first movie they thought was just going to be like some little indie film, Twilight.
back end.
And he got something like 20
he got
quid.
back end.
And then he got for the last one like 80 million or something.
Yeah. Well, like if you look,
Is he happy?
yes.
Well, I don't know. I can't leave the house.
No.
Well, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks very
Lovely
much.
to see you.
You too, as always. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you've come round to the ways of Hobart.
Whoa.
Oh, the dog's going mental.
I'm glad you're
my
into
bum
films
wrapped.
now.
Thanks, I like that in films, yeah. I'm so filmy.
You are.
I'm so filmy. I'm like Claudia Winkleman.